Hey fans, welcome back to another video about the NFL. This time we're going to dive into the lifestyle of New England Patriots quarterback Cam Newton. We all know Newton as he is a solid household name in the sport, but although you may know him as a graduate from Auburn or for breaking the all-time NFL rookie record for passing and rushing yards, these crazy expensive things he owns may just blow your mind. Before we start, we'd appreciate it if you would hit that like and subscribe buttons and turn on the post notifications bell so that you can be notified of other videos just like this one in the future. Number 10. If there's one thing that's consistent with Cam Newton's style, no matter what else he wears, it always seems as though he prioritizes and truly puts into consideration his hats. And that's because he's buddies and a loyal customer to a well-known and trustworthy hat maker based in Venice, California. Alberto Hernandez moved from Mexico and eventually met Newton. That's when he started making personalized hats for him. When asked about meeting the football player, Hernandez said, "I saw his Rolls Royce pulling up, and this big guy comes out." Hernandez had no idea who Newton was, but his friend recognized him right away. Nonetheless, Hernandez is now to thank for Newton's unique and personalized hats that he wears casually and even pre- and post-game. Newton became familiar with Hernandez after he was referred to him by rapper Pharrell. Hernandez said that he most likely has made Newton one hat every week since he met him. Sometimes he doesn't even charge him, but he cares about how much fun it is. Newton claims that Hernandez is the unsung hero of hat making because his work is everywhere in Hollywood, even if his name isn't on the labels. When asked about his experience and friendship with Hernandez, Newton said, "Alberto is easy and open-minded. Nothing is too unwearable or outlandish for him. It's a form of expression without opening your mouth. A hat projects confidence and speaks volumes about how you feel on that specific day." The thing about Alberto is that even though his name is not on the label, his work is everywhere. Designers, movie stars, musical artists wear it. He's been the unsung hero of hat making. Number 9. In the summer of 2019, Newton treated himself to a warm location by moving into a $1.6 million condo in Charlotte, North Carolina. And you know what's wild about this? Michael Jordan was his neighbor. Jordan bought his condo back in 2010. Boris Diaw, a former player for the NBA's Bobcats, also lives in the building. Newton's condo only had a modest 3-bedroom and 3.5 bathrooms, and it was only one of 7 units in the entire building. One must truly wonder about who the other 4 insanely lucky residents of the building must be. Number 8. In 2016, he rented a home in Beverly Hills from former WWE superstar Stacy Keibler. Newton spent $123,000 for 51 days, and the 5,788 square foot mansion has 5 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms, and it spanned from Beverly Hills to Catalina Islands. Newton actually was kicked out of the house after it was found out that items were broken after he began his stay. A lawsuit was filed. The damages ended up being $33,000 for a rug, water damage to the wooden floors and to the walls, just to name a few. The owner had to take the home off the rental market for 2 months, and it cost them $72,000 in lost revenue. In the end, Newton was charged $270,000 for the damage to the property, with a base salary in 2019 of $16 million while he was still with the Panthers. Those numbers might seem a bit small. Number 7. What Cam Newton might actually be known for, other than football, is his insanely expensive jewelry collection. He has been seen wearing watches valued at well over $100,000 in the past. 2 watches are a yellow gold Rolex Yachtmaster 2 and the same watch in white gold platinum. Though these watches aren't uncommon for professional athletes to own, they are worth at least $100,000, depending on if you add diamonds to them. Excuse me? Diamonds? Fun fact. These specific watches were made for men at sea who didn't have access to a cell phone for whatever reason. One feature is a timer that lasts up to 10 minutes. Number 6. Newton also owns a Rolex Day-Date watch, which is a classier, more upscale piece of jewelry typically worn on business trips and important dinners. Curious what it looks like? You better sit down for this one. Newton's day date is completely covered in 18-karat yellow gold. You can see this watch in action on his photo shoot for GQ in 2016. Rolex day dates go for $50,000, and that's before any additions or size adjustments. Newton's model is $150,000. Number 5. Now, back to the things, shall we? In 2016, Newton customized a 1970 Oldsmobile 442. It's covered in 24-karat gold with diamonds outlining the seats. This make and model of the car, before the customization, goes for around $50,000. After his additions, it reached up to at least $100,000. Number 4. In 2018, Newton bought an all-black Ferrari F12, which he paid around $300,000 for. Unfortunately, soon after buying his car, he was involved in a car accident which a dump truck hit him on the highway in Atlanta, Georgia. Thankfully, he was unharmed. Number 3. Yet another car Newton owns is a matte black Rolls-Royce, which might have been the car that Alberto, his hat maker, saw him pull up in on the first day that he met Newton. He's spotted riding in this car often, so one can assume it's a favorite of his. This custom car goes for around $450,000. Number 2. And finally, the last car on the list is a Chevy Silverado that is customized with blue and orange to symbolize his alma mater, Auburn University. The truck is believed to be painted at Salters in South Carolina, and the car also has an updated sound system. Again, unfortunately, Newton was involved in an accident involving this truck as well. The truck flipped onto its side and he was rushed to the hospital, but again, he came out on top and thanked God for having his eye on him and for keeping him safe. I just can't stop smiling because God has his hands on me. Newton said at a press conference at the Bank of America Stadium a short time after the accident, "I'm on somebody's fantasy team, and I think it's the man upstairs. It's great to walk away from something like that. I'm looking at this truck and I'm like, somebody is supposed to be dead." And one thing I remember that I really couldn't remember is that I really couldn't talk afterwards because I was in such shock. I got myself out of the truck and I couldn't stop smiling. Number 1. Let's take a step away from the material items for a second and give credit where credit is due. Although Cam Newton spends hundreds of thousands of dollars on accessories and seriously expensive places to live and rent, he actively donates to charities and spends time and energy on raising money for children in need across the country. In 2016, Newton dressed up as Santa and visited 4 different schools in his area and donated $100,000 in total. The breakdown for the donations and time well spent was $30,000 to a backpack program, $10,000 to a local food pantry. He then hung out with low-income kids at a local center, and finally, he bopped on over to a Dick's Sporting Goods where he met kids on a field trip and he took them on a shopping spree. Newton spoke about these 4 experiences in his community. He said, "Everybody's always in the Christmas spirit, and I love that about this community. As far as the kids, I just wanted to show my face as much as I can when I get the opportunity to. When I come around people, I feel comfortable. It's not about football, it's not about income, it's not about what I do for a living." Gina Salvati, Vice President of Advancement at Communities and Schools, told ABC News, "There were still some kids that were in shock that Cam Newton was in a lawn chair in front of them. But then, excitement just filled the room. Cam has, and I don't know if the world knows this, a genuine heart for kids," Salvati said. "It's not just about the press or what he's supposed to do. It's about the way he wants to support kids and the way he wants them to be supported. Many of our kids really feel apart from the world. This is a way our kids can feel part of the world beyond their street." According to the ABC News article, the Cam Newton Foundation hosted a celebrity kickball tournament, and it was Newton's idea. The tournament brought in $300,000. During Thanksgiving in 2017, Newton hosted an event for 800 kids and their families with free food, games, and music. He called this event Cam's Thanksgiving Jam. 1 year later, he hosted the exact same event, but this time invited 1,200 people. Former Panthers wide receiver Jericho Cotchery also told ABC News in the same article, "He's incredible with that. He's completely incredible." Cotchery said, Really, he's a superstar, but the way he interacts with fans and kids is just an unbelievable deal. Some people are burdened by that, but he interacts with fans and children, and it's cool to see. You give credit to his parents for making him aware of that, but it's just him. Kotri said, from the outside looking in, people want to know if it's genuine or not, everything that he's doing. It is. It's him smiling all the time. It's him interacting with everybody all the time, celebrating with his teammates. Yeah, he celebrates on his own sometimes, but when he comes back, he's always encouraging his teammates. It's a good thing to be around. And there you have it, 10 crazy expensive things Cam Newton owns. Are you surprised by any of these expensive things that he owns or is involved in? Let us know the ones that shocked you the most down in the comments, or what your thoughts are in general. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another list of crazy expensive things professional athletes own.